What's up, everyone? So, Russell Westbrook hated being criticized when held accountable on missing defensive rotations. He was quoted, he did not like being the center of attention in those film sessions. So let's just talk about this. The Los Angeles Lakers desperately looking to make a change in the offseason after the disastrous previous season, 2021-2022 season. The Lakers are comfortably out of the playoffs, even missing the play-in tournament to the rebuilding San Antonio Spurs. A large chunk of the blame went to Russell Westbrook for his subpar performance throughout the year. Westbrook refused to buy into the system that Frank Vogel had set up, as he demanded a starting role, even though his current skill set meant he would be taking more of a back seat. Issues like this would boil over on the court, as Russ was notably lazy and almost unplayable on defensive rotation. Players have moments of laziness and frustration, but they usually bounce back after being helped by teammates, coaches, even if they just need to talk to someone to better figure out their mistakes. That isn't what Russell Westbrook does, allegedly, as Jovan Buha reported that Russell Westbrook would push back if called out on field sessions over his defensive efforts. So Jovan Buha is quoted as saying, "From what I've heard last season, Westbrook will push back on stuff that was very obvious, like, hey, you missed this defensive rotation." He did not like being the center of attention on those film sessions. So it's from stuff I've heard. Like during film sessions, you push back on stuff that that was very obvious, like you missed some defensive rotations. So by this alone, you could see the lack of defensive awareness on Russell Westbrook. It is glaring, especially playing in a big market like LA. So Russell Westbrook, let me just continue the article. Yeah, Westbrook doesn't want to buy in the Lakers system. He still looks himself as a star in this league, but he is in danger of not being wanted by any team because of such habits. If he was unwilling to take criticism in film session, it shows that the Lakers have to contend with this season if he is to stay on the team. Considering how stubborn Russ is, there doesn't look like any likely reconciliation here. A trade to send him away from the franchise is the best for all parties at this point. So that's the end of the article. So my take is this: Russell Westbrook is the main reason why the Lakers weren't able to contend, and here's why. I'm not saying Russell Westbrook is not a good player. He played 78 games out of the 82 games. He only missed 4 games. But all I'm saying is this: his lack of accountability and stubbornness is the reason why the Lakers are not able to even make the play-in tournament. I'm of the opinion that if Russell Westbrook was more malleable and more teachable, even in the absence of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who are apparently injury riddled, especially Anthony Davis, LeBron James is going up there in age, I feel like they would have a chance. They would have had a chance to make at least the playoffs, even if the play-in tournament, as a 10th seed, and be able to, at least try to make the playoffs. But that wasn't the case because Russell Westbrook, even on film session, he doesn't get back on defense. This is a trait that even dating way back in OKC, you could see it. Russell Westbrook never had any defensive effort. He's a guy that he never committed to that side of the basketball in OKC. And especially his ability to not move off the ball. He used to pound the rock a lot. He's more productive with the ball and even without the ball. He doesn't even do anything without the ball. So he's only productive with the ball in his hands. So when you have a player of that nature who always ball watches and always demands the ball and also always pounds the rock every time, chances are they're not going to be productive on the defensive side of the ball because they always feel like they're the first option, even when they're very horrendous. And they're very they lack the awareness and defensive awareness to be able to switch on their players and take care of defensive assignments. They don't know that. A guy like Russell Westbrook doesn't know that, and it's delusion for him to think that he's still a star in this league. The stubbornness that he has shown, and the fact that the Lakers are a big market and their games are televised, the whole world witnessed the worst season of Russell Westbrook's career. Okay, those bad seasons, the bad games were swept under the rug when he was playing with the OKC Thunder, the Houston Rockets, the Washington Wizards. because those teams had their games not many or they were televised, so you only checked on League Pass. But on the Lakers, when a lot of games are televised, a lot of people are going to see you, and you get access to a big market. A lot of people will be able to see your flaws and pinpoint it. And knowing that the Lakers fan base only knows about winning, and if you're a catalyst of losing, they're gonna call you out, and that's the same thing that they're doing to Russell Westbrook. So if NBA executives and NBA owners and GMs see Russell Westbrook isn't changing his ways, this might likely be the last season of Russell Westbrook's career in the NBA. So due to his own stubbornness and his unwilling to change, especially on this tweet when he just saw when someone calls him out on defensive rotations, he used to push back. So he didn't like being the center of attention in film sessions. So this is a red flag, especially for NBA GM, and they don't want to deal with that. Especially NBA coaches don't want to deal with that, especially for title contenders. When defense, all of you guys have to be on a string, and if you don't have players on a string, you're not able to be able to win that side of the ball, and especially when it comes to display on defense. So Russ Westbrook, this is the main reason why he opted into that $47 million deal, and he is the reason why he's not able to be successful in a franchise, especially wearing the purple and gold. If you're not going to win, the Lakers nation are going to flame you, and you will not have a good outing, and people are going to call you a lot of names, especially during the season. Last season, when he was called Westbrook, he had even addressed the media that he was being called Westbrook, being shamed, because when you fail in a big market, they're going to blame you. So that's one thing that he has to understand. So he has to find a way to play better and at least be efficient and productive when he has the basketball, and also off the ball on the defensive side. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but for the Lakers to win a championship, that has to happen. And yeah. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments. What you think about Russell Westbrook, what you think about this video. Smash that like button, it helps me out a ton. I'm gonna see you in the next upload.